What is up, YouTube? HPJ here, and I'm coming at you guys because we're going to be taking a nice look at both of the structure decks for the Rush Duel series, which both are including two of Yu-Gi-Oh's iconic archetypes in the series. And trust and believe, when I tell you I love this artwork, I love this artwork. And I cannot believe the amount of stuff that could potentially be in both of these decks, because the synergy of things is definitely going to be sought after. And it kind of makes me bittersweet because of the fact that for years now, Harpies have not really gotten major waves of support in the TCG or OCG. We had a lot of one-offs. But to see how Rush Duel is definitely giving them the love that the TCG and OCG is giving them, I definitely feel like we're being cheated. Especially us in the TCG. Now, I am, speaking firsthand on this whole situation because I feel like, it's part of the things that I talked about in my previous video. How Harpies are not getting as much love in the TCG for being a legacy archetype. And many of others, the first of the archetypes in the Yu-Gi-Oh series. And it's sad that there really is barely any love for them. But then you'll see Cyber Dragon, who came years later, and just plethora after plethora of support and wave of support. So we see where the love lies in the TCG OCG. And in Rush Duel, they're definitely getting a plethora of things and how successful Harpies have been in the OCG. Which is, well, in Rush Duel, which is actually pretty good if you look at it. And I'm glad that they're getting the love for it. And some people are even saying they might as well want to play Rush Duel. Because, Rush Duel is getting all these waves of support for Harpie that the OCG and TCG isn't. Which, to be fair, I agree with. Now, we're here to talk about the two cover monsters that are on the artworks of these decks. So these decks are going to be released March 8th of 2025 in the OCG. So if you have ways of getting stuff from the OCG, definitely go ahead and get them. The two structure decks are going to be called Chimeratech Cyber. And the Harpie structure deck is going to be called the Harpie Ladies. The monsters that are featured on there are for the Chimeratech Cyber will include Chimeratech Overdragon. And for the Harpie Lady Sisters deck, they're getting Harpie Lady Sisters Triangle Beauty. So starting off with Chimeratech Overdragon, this is a fusion monster that we have seen in the Yu-Gi-Oh anime, and we have seen major amounts of cards for Chimeratech Overdragon. Chimeratech Overdragon, I believe, is a level 10 fusion monster that requires one Cyber Dragon and 2 or more machine-type monsters for its fusion summon. And when it's fusion summoned, you destroy all cards that are on the field. Well, on your side of the field. And the thing about Chimeratech Overdragon, I do believe, is that it can attack multiple times as well. I'm sorry, it's been a minute since I've had to care about Chimeratech Overdragon. But Chimeratech Overdragon definitely took a spot in the Yu-Gi-Oh series because of a particular scenario. Where this monster was part of the reason why cards like Overload Fusion had to be limited because in Future Fusion, because of how abruptly easy it was to build this monster without any hesitation. And for those who don't know, back in about 2017, 2018, when this monster was released, it was around the time the card Future Fusion was released. Chimeratech Overdragon itself is a very powerful monster because it gains attack for every material used for its fusion summon. And its ability to attack multiple monsters on the field also straying from, I believe, the amount of monsters used for its fusion summon. Well, the problem was this. It was really hard to cheat out the extra deck because most of the time you had to use Cyber Dragon. And Cyber Dragon at that point in time was limited to 1. So when they released cards like Proto Cyber Dragon, it made it a lot easier to play around with Cyber Dragon because then you were able to use cards like Future Fusion to send all the materials you needed to the graveyard, and then you would activate Overload Fusion to banish the monsters in the graveyard that were sent there to then summon this Chimera from the extra deck instead of having to wait the turns for it. Due to the Future Fusion. You'd blow up the Future Fusion, which is fine, but then you still had cards like Dimension Fusion, Return from the Different Dimension, and stuff like that to chain or activate after the fact, and then get monsters back like Genzo, who would help you against your opponent's trap cards. So, because of all of this, they limited a lot of the cards that were supporting the setup for Chimeratech Overdragon, but did not leave Chimeratech Overdragon out, as it was easy ways to stop Chimeratech Overdragon. You still had stuff like Mirror Force, Sakura's Armor, Dimensional Prison, which came out later, and other things as well. But I have to say, this is a very resourceful monster and a very powerful one at that. Now, for the new inclusion to the Harpie lineup, we have Harpie Lady Sisters Triangle Beauty. Now, we don't know exactly what in premises this monster herself will be. She could easily be a retrain of the Harpie Lady Sisters. As we all know in the OCG, in Rush Duel, the Harpie Lady Sisters are a maximum summon. Each of the individual Harpie Ladies give the maximum monster a variation of abilities, as well as a maximum of 3,100 or 3,500. And I know it's more stacked on to them when you activate the ability to give the Harpies the additional 500 attack points by sending 2 wind monsters in your deck back into the deck, and then shuffle. And then if they're maximum summoned, you can inflict 500 points of damage to your opponent, which is great because it's not only a decent amount, a little bit of burn, but it's also recovery for monsters you can use later on in case your maximum summon monster is removed from the field. So when I look at this Harpie Lady Sisters Triangle Beauty, I honestly have to say I would love to know what effects they have and if they're actually a retrain of Harpie Lady Sisters, which would be bittersweet because we here in the TCG have not had a retrain of Harpie Lady Sisters, and every time we look at Rush Duel giving Harpie Lady Sisters some love, it kind of makes us sad because the TCG OCG never got us that. And it would be nice to see that. And especially considering how badass of an artwork this is. I did post earlier that I had some pictures already up for the Harpie Lady Sisters Triangle Beauty. But I have to honestly say I love to see what their effect is. And how much of a change they're going to be for Rush Duel. Because Harpies have been doing extremely well. And it's nice to see them get another power buff. On top of the power buff that they already have. So, I cannot wait to see this. I'm very excited about it, and I'm very excited about the artwork as well. And shout outs to the Cyber Dragon fans, because Chimeratech also has a lot of promise as well. And it's an amazing archetype too. And to see that one of their useful fusion monsters is getting put into Rush Duel, it's definitely going to be a nice sight to see. So, let me know in the comment section what you think about the additions of Chimeratech Overdragon and Harpie Lady Sisters Triangle Beauty to Maximum Duel. Are you also excited for a lot of the new cards and support that they'll be getting? Let me know all that in the comment section. So with that said and done, thanks everyone for watching. I really do appreciate it. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel, as it helps out tremendously. You can hit the notification bell to be informed of when I upload more content to the channel. Social media links are in the description box below, and if you guys would like to see previous content, there is a playlist in previous videos. Thanks everyone for watching. HPJ signing out. Take care.